Okay, ladies and gents, before we get into this video and the casted replay between myself and a USA opponent, I just want you to take note of this brand new card. It's the Scottish Immigrants in Age 2 costing 350 coin. It provides one Highlander and you get an extra one for every saloon, meeting house and trading post up to 10. Now the Highlander unit is actually really like an Age 3 unit. They're insane. They're a ranged heavy infantry unit, 400 HP and 64 base range damage. And you can get these guys out very, very quickly, as we're going to see in this replay. So let's do it. Hi ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the battlefield. So of course at the start of the video there, a quick run through of what this main card is and how powerful it's going to be in this kind of strategy that is emerging with the United States. So we've got a matchup here between myself and Sir Robin, and we're going to be seeing this Highlander opening here, and Sir Robin's going to kind of do, you could say, a semi-FF style with this. I have seen people playing just a full Age 2 with this. A person in particular is April, quite a high level pro player you could say, who has managed to get 9 Highlanders out sub 5 minutes 30, and I kid you not. And of course we're going to see the stats of these Highlanders. If you've never seen them before, we're going to be seeing the stats when they do emerge in this playthrough. So the main thing with this strategy that I think is kind of busted in my opinion, and definitely needs to be reviewed, and you know, I know a lot of people recently have been accusing me of being quite negative or overly negative about the brand new update and patch and overhaul that the devs have done, but to be honest, for the majority of it, I do like the changes. I think my concern is the level and the complexity of the changes, and the fact that this was never put forward as a PUP. It was never put forward for the majority of players to test either a week or two beforehand, so that we could find things like this and others, and they could be hot fixed before the actual full release. So let's have a look at this and see what is so broken about it, in my opinion. So we have 3 cards that the states have that is really going to help this kind of strategy. And one of them, which has just come out, is the Chinese Immigrants. This delivers 1 trading post rickshaw and gives you a levy ability to produce more from the trading post for free over time. So that is the first one. The second card is going to be the Advanced Saloon. This will support population for said Highlanders, and will also increase the build limit of these saloons by +2. So you'll be able to produce and build 3 saloons. And you're probably saying to yourself, well, what card could build 3 saloons? Surely the states have to go 700 wood. They actually have to collect resources and build for the saloons. Oh no, there's a perfect card, and it's called the Arkansas Post. And what does that do? It ships 3 trading post wagons, and probably people are thinking, oh, they're TPs though. Oh no, what does it say? It says it allows markets, saloons, and meeting houses to be built by trading post wagons. And a meeting house is a card, or is a building, sorry, that counts also towards the Scottish Immigrant card, as you can see here, and as I mentioned at the start of the video. So it's going to be a combination of these 3 that are going to basically mean that this strategy is going to be kind of insane. And I must stress, as I did at the start of the video, we're working with 1300 ELO players here. So this isn't going to be crisp. There's going to be some strange choices that Sir Robin does here that he could actually change this, and it could be even more potent. But he chose not to. And there is an age up as well that I've seen people do, and I don't know USA too well, but there is a card that looks like a scroll or a piece of paper or something, and I think that one produces a meeting house for you, but I can't say for sure. But in this instance, Sir Robin is going to be able to get 9 Highlanders out, so he's going to have a total of 8 buildings that contribute to the total 9 of the Highlanders that he's going to get. And his age up he's going to be choosing is the Virginia. Now, I think April and other people who have been doing this have been doing a different age up. But he's going to be going for Dutch Immigrants in the meantime. Now, to be honest, I don't think you necessarily even need to worry about Dutch Immigrants. I think, honestly, you could just go straight into the Arkansas Post, and you could probably get your Highlanders out even quicker, but we must remember that we still need 350 coin. So it looks like at the moment he's actually going to be chopping for a market, which is kind of unusual because you don't particularly need a market, but he goes ahead and he will be building that anyway. So there's already things that I would change about this, but I already think this is strong. That's the concern, guys, that I've got. But you know, I'd love to know in the comments below what you think about it. Maybe I'm just being overly negative about it, and maybe it isn't that strong. But we have to bear in mind the majority of the player base that want to play competitive are not at that higher bracket. The majority are low to sort of mid-elo players like myself, and trying to deal with something like this is going to be very, very difficult. Trying to defend against something as devastating as these Highlanders is going to be tricky. So what we're going to do, just going to speed up just a little bit here, and we're going to wait for the Arkansas card to come in, and there they go. And they're going to be putting down 2 of the taverns here. And that's going to be 3 taverns, and these actually have a trickle of coin themselves. So that's already producing a total of 1.8 coin a second, and the bank is doing 2.75. And you can see that he's going for the Virginia plan. He didn't need to go for that. That's the funny thing. He could have just gone straight for the immigrants, and he could have got his Highlanders out quicker. So we can see now that 9 of them are on the way, and he's got another card backed up as well. It's just insane, the tempo of the states with the cards, because he's got the TPs, and yeah, it's kind of crazy. So we do have the Highlanders here. Here they are. So look at these guys. 9 of them, 400 HP, 63 ranged damage, 40 siege, and 32 melee. Now, the downside of them is, of course, their range. They're only sort of 12 range here, but in the grand scheme of things, having this amount of units out this early on is devastating. Maybe not around the 7-minute mark as much as we see here, but with other players who can definitely get this quicker, they can do the build order quicker. I've seen, as I mentioned before, around 5 minutes 30 that you can have this amount of troops out. Now you can see myself here, I'm going to be pushing out, trying to just apply a little bit of pressure here, not really knowing how many Highlanders he's actually got. And my Gurkhas try and do what they can, but 5 Gurkhas there firing off isn't even going to damage one of them by a half here. So it really puts it into perspective how kind of crazy the units are. And you can see now he's just going for a general assembly because he's going to be thinking about aging up. So he's going for a kind of semi-FF style. You could just play this Age 2 and he probably could have just beaten me, because he can get a card. He can get the native embassy card. He could just go for the, I think it's the diplomatic relations. I can't remember which one it is, but it's the one where you can basically muster native units from the ones that you've allied with. And of course, if he's building native TPs, he could have built one here, and he could have just had even more troops out in a big timing push, and it could have been devastating for me. And he also, with the gold he's getting, he could have just started training units from the saloon. You know, there's the meeting house that we mentioned, so he's got that meeting house down. And yeah, this is just, it's just too good. It's too perfect in my eyes. The synergy of the cards is too strong. That's how I feel. There isn't any downside of doing this. What is the downside? Let's just think about what the downside is. Well, he's already pressuring me. He's forcing me to stay Age 2 and commit more units because of the sheer power of these units. And off the back of that, he can just go ahead and do what he wants and basically go ahead and age up. And that's what we're going to be seeing right now. He's going for Silversmith once again. You know, I don't know about that, whether that's the best card. He does pick some strange cards here. But I'm just going to speed it along a bit as he gets into Age 3, because we're just going to get to the final blow here, which is when he produces lots of Gatling guns with the sheer amount of coin that he's been collecting. You can see all of that coin coming in now. He's going to use that basically with rolling guns to basically create 5 Gatling guns, which he didn't need to do. He could have gone for something else, but instead he could have gone just for rolling artillery, and he could have just had 8 Gatling guns without the coffee mill upgrade. But instead, you know, he went for 5 Gatlings with coffee. I don't really know. But you can see here, we're going to be getting to the very end. And you can see, like, I did some great raiding here. Took a lot of vills out. And I decided to use my cav to try and deal with these Gatling guns. But they just chewed through all of my cavalry, and then they just completely deleted all of my Gurkhas. And that was the end of it for me. So, guys, in a nutshell, what do you think about this? Am I being overly negative? Is this easily countable? Maybe in this instance, it is easy to defend because it's not the cleanest execution of this build order, but against someone higher up in the ladder who can maybe get this to work around 5 minutes 30, is this something that is just too overpowered and needs to be addressed. In my eyes, I think it definitely does. It's just too much synergy with 3 cards aiding this, and there's no downside, I feel, from the United States in this instance. So, of course, let me know what you think down in the comments below. And I don't want to be overly negative. I keep saying that. A lot of people are saying that I am being it, but I want to kind of point this out and highlight this to the devs as kind of like a point that needs to be addressed, and also, you know, a point that they need to improve on in the future. So guys, as I say, if you've actually played against this, or if you're playing this strategy, of course, let me know down in the comments below. And of course, if you found it useful, interesting, all that sort of stuff, please feel free to drop a like, and I'll catch you in the next video or the next stream. Catch you later, guys. Bye!